Hi, everybody. It's Eric Murray from the SugarHuddle.com. Well, Sunday night's game between the Patriots and the Packers was really all about who's the GOAT. Is it Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? And frankly, neither one really played like GOATs. And ironically, it was kind of team play is what this one came down to. Early on, the Patriots' first drive came right out, probably as fast as they've ever gone in a hurry up situation. And 10 plays later, right down the field, score a touchdown, 7-0. Packers answered back with a field goal, 7-3. Then after that, it was kind of a series of missed opportunities for both teams. The Patriots ended up going up 17-10 by half. Brady had played a little bit better than Rodgers. Rodgers had missed on a few throws, and that was kind of a theme of the night for him. Had some real nice throws, but also missed on some throws in both the first and second half, especially down the stretch in the second half. But then, Packers tied up at 17 all, and the Patriots drive right back down the field. First and goal at, I believe it was a 2-yard line. Packers goal line stand. All of a sudden, it felt like, the Packers, the momentum was on their side. And eventually, they had put it together like a 5-play, 65-yard drive. And, Aaron Jones, who had a pretty nice night, Lawrence Guy, the Patriots defensive lineman, he just, comes across as Jones is like in the air, diving forward after, getting hit. And Jones and the guy punches it right out, and Patriots recover, and that was kind of the big turning point of the game. Soon after, you had the big trick play, which was perhaps the highlight of the night. Of course, Julian Edelman, a one-time college quarterback, he gets the lateral, and then he throws it back across the field to James White. White and the lineman in front of him did an amazing job of pretending like they were just standing around, and all of a sudden the ball comes their way, and White goes 37 yards down the 2-yard line, and then White actually ended up finishing off the drive with a short touchdown run to make it 24-17. And then, of course, the Packers, they're not able to do anything with it. Patriots get right back, and then Brady finds Josh Gordon, 55-yard touchdown pass. Definitely Brady's best play of the night. Gordon had gotten nicked up a little bit in the game, so and he had a miscommunication on an incompletion on what was that goal line stand. So, he was able to bounce back and get that 55-yard score. James White, of course, another nice night. 6 catches, 72 yards. And then Cordero Patterson, who has bounced around the league. Is he a receiver? Is he a running back? Is he a return man? He's becoming kind of like the quote-unquote power back for the Patriots right now with Sony Michel's injury. He had 11 carries, 61 yards, and had a touchdown. Pretty nice night for him as well. But overall, like I said, neither Brady or Rodgers really lit it up. If you go strictly by QBR, both of them, I believe, were under 50. Brady was like 37-something. I think Rodgers was 49-something. Both of them missed on some plays, but, Brady had the big throw to Gordon down the stretch, and then Rodgers, just so many missed opportunities. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had a couple of nice catches there, had 101 receiving yards, but, overall, everybody else was quiet. Randall Cobb was quiet. Devontae Adams was quiet. The running game had their moments, but they didn't have a real big night. And then that fumble obviously was huge. And, in the first half, they had a little bit of trouble there trying to finish drives. So, overall, the Packers, they're just a team that they're just kind of a little bit off everywhere. Their secondary, Clinton Dix, they trade him away, which was a curious move. And you saw it in this game with the Patriots where, and even with Clinton Dix, they were going to have some trouble trying to defend Brady and these wideouts. But there were a number of times where the secondary had some troubles. The Packers got jobbed on a couple of calls, and one of them was pass interference, I believe, in the end zone, if I'm not mistaken. And another was on a punt, but Patriots ended up having to punt again, so it didn't really matter. But, it's tough when you're the Packers trying to go into Foxborough and all the hype surrounding Brady and Rodgers. I expected both these guys to play at a high level, and really, outside the opening drive and outside of the Gordon touchdown pass, which obviously was kind of the difference, Brady was just okay in this one, but played a little bit better than Rodgers. And Rodgers, yeah, like I say, he was just a little bit off all night long. He's been a little bit hit or miss in recent weeks, and I think the big thing is, he's played with his banged-up knee all year long. It's on the injury report every single week for this knee. No surprise there. And you could tell there was times where it was bothering him a little bit, at times where it messed with his mobility a little bit. Short hopped a couple of throws, which you don't see him do a whole lot. So, Yeah, just not enough playmakers stepping up for the Packers in this one. When you look at their skill guys compared to the Patriots' skill guys, not a real big difference one way or another. Same with the offensive line, not a real big drop off one way or another, but Brady and company got a little bit more creative. They were able to make the most of it. And, Belichick's obviously a great coach. Mike McCarthy is, an overrated coach. And not surprisingly, he got outcoached in this one. Patriots are a little bit more disciplined than the Packers. But, you know, you look at Green Bay and you just wonder their season's at a crossroads. Where do they go from here? I mean, sure, the NFC North is still wide open, and sure, they got to play the Vikings again, but Minnesota just looks like a significantly better team right now. And I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to hold up the rest of the way. I mean, just the way that knee is off and on for him. I'm not sure he can withstand 16 games this year. I mean, he's really literally one hit away from his season being over, or at least missing a few weeks and officially eliminating him. So yeah, Green Bay's just been a little bit off all year long. The Ty Montgomery trade, I understood why they did it, but the Clinton Dix trade, like I said, didn't really make a whole lot of sense when you're still right there in the thick of things, trying to compete for the division and compete for a playoff spot. So Green Bay, it's hard to say where they're headed. And they host Miami this Sunday coming up, and Miami's not that great of a team, even though they're 5-4. Got off to the quick start, I believe 3-0, and they've struggled since. Won an ugly game against the Jets at home on Sunday, but very winnable game for the Packers. And essentially, I mean, it's an elimination game. You can argue, I mean, even Miami coming up with a better record, it's really an elimination game for both teams. And we're getting into that point of the season where there's a lot of games that are kind of the quote unquote elimination games. And as for the Patriots, not surprisingly, they keep rolling along. We always see them start a little slow and then they go on this big run and always find a way to finish, 12-4, 13-3. I still think that come playoff time, and I know we're looking way ahead right now, but come playoff time, I still think Kansas City can beat them at Arrowhead. But in Foxborough is a different story. So really now the pressure is on teams like Kansas City and the Chargers, Steelers, who are going to be kind of screwed up because of that tie that they had with the Browns to open the year. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out mathematically at season's end if they keep winning games. You don't want to go into Foxborough in January, but I think if one of those teams can find a way to, hold off the Patriots and take the AFC regular season crown, obviously the number one seed, that could go a long way in the postseason. And I know Kansas City just lost to the Patriots, but I still think Kansas City's a better team. But again, they need to be at Arrowhead in the playoffs, and they have a track record, especially Andy Reid's own track record of struggling in the playoffs. But overall, the Patriots, I thought the way they've been getting Cordell Patterson more involved in recent weeks and making him, like I said, more of their power back, as Sony Michel is still injured, and James White having a hell of a year, career high 61 catches now, doing a nice job on the ground as well. I think the Patriots can continue to have that lethal backfield. Julian Edelman played pretty well again, and then you have just random guys that step up. Obviously Josh Gordon is emerging, and we know how talented he is. But then you have got Philip Dorsett makes an occasional big catch. He did that in this game. Dwayne Allen was the only active tight end, and he had a big catch. So it's just what the Patriots do. And defensively, they hung in there in this one. You got to give them a lot of credit. 17 points against Aaron Rodgers with, I think it was 17-10 at the half. So only gave up a touchdown in the second half. Had that big fumble on the Lawrence Guy play. Got to give them a lot of credit. So the Patriots rolling along. No surprise there. They're right there, top of the league. I don't know if this game exactly decides the GOAT talk or decides the whole GOAT conversation, but nonetheless, it's an interesting game. It's kind of interesting to see how it was really everybody else outside of the quarterbacks who really made this game what it was. But nonetheless, those are my Sunday night thoughts, Sunday night football thoughts on the Packers-Patriots game. And anyhow, please go to sugarhuddle.com. Please like my Facebook page at Sugar Huddle, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.